The land of the Wakamba had always been fertile, its people thriving on the blessings of nature. But one year, the rains failed, the rivers dried up, the cattle grew thin, and the fields turned to dust. Days stretched into weeks and then into months, but the sky remained an empty, merciless blue. The people of the village gathered under an ancient baobab tree, their faces filled with worry. Children wailed from hunger, and the elderly sat in silence, their strength fading. The village elders knew they could not wait any longer. The council of elders made a decision. They would seek the help of the legendary Rainmaker, a man said to have inherited the power of the spirits. He lived deep in the hills, away from the village, where he performed sacred rituals passed down through generations. A group of villagers traveled through the arid land to find the Rainmaker. They found him meditating by a sacred tree, his eyes closed, listening to the whispers of the wind. When they pleaded for his help, he simply nodded and gathered his tools, an ancient staff, a gourd of sacred water, and a bundle of herbs. Back in the village, the people prepared for the ceremony. The Rainmaker stood in the center of the village, the crowd watching in hushed anticipation. He sprinkled the sacred water on the ground, chanted in the old tongue, and raised his staff towards the sky. As his voice echoed through the village, a dust of wind swept through the trees, dust spiraled into the air, and the distant rumble of thunder shook the earth. The people held their breath. Could it be? Then a miracle. Fat droplets of rain splattered onto the ground. First a few, then a steady shower. The villagers cried out in joy, lifting their hands to the heavens. The earth drank deeply, the smell of fresh rain filling the air. The drizzle turned into a downpour. Children danced in the mud. Elders gave thanks, and the Rainmaker watched in quiet satisfaction. His work was done. Without a word, he turned and walked back into the hills, vanishing into the mist. The rains poured for days, drenching the land, filling the empty riverbeds, and bringing life back to the once dry fields. The people rejoiced, believing their sufferings had ended. But as the weeks passed, the skies once again turned barren. The rivers, once swollen with fresh water, shrunk back into dusty trails. The green fields withered, and the cattle grew weak once more. The land, it seemed, it had only borrowed the rain. The elders gathered again, trying to understand why the rain did not stay. Some believed the gods had given them a warning, that they had lost their connections to the spirits of the land. Others whispered that the Rainmaker had taken the rain with him, that his power was tied not to the sky but to his presence. No one knew the truth. Perhaps the Rainmaker had seen something they had not. Perhaps he knew the land was cast to dust forever. Or maybe, deep in the hills where he disappeared, he waited, listening for the voices of those who truly understood that water was more than a blessing. It was a test. And so, the Wakamba people continued to live in the cycle of drought and fleeting rain, never knowing if the sky would show mercy again.